So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna get people. I want some people to come in with their homework, the things you did to count your blessings. If you did your homework, it should be easy for you to say, you know, Coach, here go my 10 from day 3. All right, somebody jump in and give me their homework. Somebody jump in.
I'm grateful for my sister's cosmology skills, my son's independence, Roku, my trader mentor, my brother Danny, because he's an engineer. You know, I do music, so you know that's really I really look up to him, and I look up to him because he's really lyrical, very lyrical. My brother Dewan inspired me to do better as far as in life, keeping me focused. My phone, definitely. I wouldn't be able to even be in this chat right now if it wasn't for that. And a lot of other things I wouldn't be able to do if it wasn't for my phone. My bank account, my determination to win and gain financial security, and my bed.
All right, somebody else jump in there. Give me something real quick.
Yeah, I got I'm grateful that my mom was able to come visit me this weekend because she beat cancer.
That's
all. Able to, she got cleared to travel. Grateful that I'm overcoming many insecurities because it allows me to see new opportunities. I'm grateful for just equipment that I have because it allows me to be creative and things like that. That's just a few, you know. I'm grateful for my office because that's where I create and all of that type of stuff.
All right, somebody else jump in there with me with your stuff, with your one of the days from your 10.
Got you, Coach.
Go ahead, Cody.
Yeah, this is from the 30th. My little brother Jake, my older brother Brady, my mom, my dad, my computer, my dog, my bike, the church I went to before this, coming to Greensboro. Thankful for Jesus and my shoes.
All right, my shoes. That's what I'm talking about. Why some of them, Cody?
Yeah, as far as the people go, my younger brother, at one time I considered him more annoying than anybody else. But over time, I've gotten to see him develop, and he's become one of my closest friends. And I'm thankful for his relatability to me and his energy that I can play off of and learn from, and that I can rely on his response any day. And then my older brother, no matter where we are in our lives, we can always come back right back where we were. And that's not something I can say about a lot of people, especially in our childhood. We were also always able to connect deeply on whatever it was that we needed to. We kind of held each other up.
Somebody else, jump in there. I see Victor, whoever Victor is, you keep trying to jump in there. Jump on in, Vic.
Man, I'm just grateful for just being able to, all my past failures that he brought me through. Now I can go forward in life. All my past forgiveness of things that I've done in my life that I know I'm forgiven for now. My past sins and things I did in my past that wasn't pleasing in his sight. I'm glad. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I'm being forgiven for all these things. I'm grateful that over 35 years of marriage, my wife still says she loves me, man. After all the pain and heartache I took her through, she still says, you know, I love you, and she wants to do things to make sure I succeed. I'm grateful in knowing that I woke up this morning in prayer and worship, and just being able to just thank him for just being so good to me in my life. I'm grateful for the peace of mind I have right now to stay focused and stay on track. When there were times when I didn't want to be focused, I would have my mind on other things, making money. Now it's about focus on being pleasing in his sight. I'm just grateful for just being here, just being a part of AWOL Fitness. I prayed for AWOL Fitness. I did insanity class, and I said I want to work out like insanity, and I think AWOL Fitness superseded insanity.
Talk about.
I'm just grateful, man.
That's right. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for Sean T to have somebody to exceed. Yeah.
Superseded.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, somebody out there, give me one of your closest relationships that you were thankful for, and the 5 things that you wrote down about them, and the whys behind those 5 things. Did anybody do that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, Coach Alex, let's go.
For one of my 3 most important closest relationships, I simply put my wife. 5 things I put for my wife. Number 1 was her faithfulness. And what I mean by faithfulness, remember growing up, had a smooth little background, grew up, I was taken care of, didn't have really things to worry about. When I went away to college, I was on my own. So in a way, you know what I'm saying, I'm a handsome guy. I mean, I was doing what I was doing. I didn't really love myself. So, I mean, I love myself, but I ain't really love myself. So we talked about self-love, and then we switched to love with responsibility. So I wasn't really being responsibility with my body, with the way I was, moving around here. I wasn't really being smart about it. So when I met my wife, for the first time, man, I met someone who was actually faithful, like, to everything. And it changed my life in a sense. I had to think about, like, we all been talking for almost 8 years. And I've never talked to someone that long, and just thinking about it, and her faithfulness, man, being true to me. And that's one of the things I truly love about her. Number 2 was her love. And it wasn't just physically, it was mentally. She made me think about, my future, think about how to better myself. We have a girl on the way any day now, a baby girl. And just her love every day. I remind her, I love her every day. I tell her how beautiful she is every day. But that all came from her being faithful and loving me. The third reason, what did I put? Her smarts. I married a ball player, y'all. She was a point guard in college, but in order to play, she had to be in the books. And, so I look after the bills, what I'm saying? We pay the bills, different things like that. She taking care of all that. She doing that. What I'm saying? The numbers, crunching the numbers, we do it together. But at the end of the day, man, in order for a man to get the way he need to go, a strong woman need to be on his side. And that's something I got. So smarts was the third one for me. My fourth one was her strength. Me seeing what she's doing right now, going through what she's going through, and it's been 9 months, just carrying this child, man, is really elevated and really showing me how strong she truly is. And it's very powerful to see. So that was the 4th thing I put for her. And the last one was her loyalty. When I say loyalty, I'm talking about just through everything, man. I remember being in college, man. We was together. I can remember this. I took a screenshot on my phone, $4.50 in my bank account. And the only thing we could afford was a hot and ready Little Caesars pizza. And sometimes that was what we needed, just to eat for the night. But she never left me. She never left. She truly believed in me. And that itself, man, showed me how loyal she was. And that just tells me, man, no matter what I go through, no matter what we go through, the women out here, it doesn't matter, man, because I'm loyal to one woman. And, now I have someone that I'm going to truly spend the rest of my life with, man. It's truly special. So those are the 5 things I have for my wife.
Okay, somebody else jump in there. Give me the one of the relationships, and give me the 5 things and the 5 whys. Somebody go ahead, jump in there.
All right, so my 3 would be my cousin Jasmine, Lynch, and my girl.
Just give me one. One person and a 5.
I'm gonna go with you, Lynch, because you know what I'm saying, it's really the most, I say, close. I mean, it means a lot to me. You done a lot for me, you know what I'm saying, whether you know it or not. So I guess I'll go ahead and share that with you. One, is motivating me to be a better me through your holistic way of teaching.
Okay.
And 2 would be pushing me beyond barriers and limits I mentally set on myself as far as like my health, you know what I mean, health concerns. Like, you know, you made me push through, like, you know, damn that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I feel like I'm about to damn black out, but Coach said, damn that, so I'm gonna keep going. and more and more that we worked out, I noticed like I ain't got to pick up no water bottle to the end. And I'm loving that, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. 3 is you coaching, not only just coaching me and mentoring me, but also counseling me, you know, sometimes when I don't know, I might just have things going on in my mind. I just talk to you, you give me exactly what I need, you know what I'm saying? You feed my mind exactly what it needs for that point in time, but not just that point in time for, you know, because what you give me, it's like I take that on and it stays with me, you know what I mean? Like, so, I'm also grateful for your testimony because I can relate to the struggle of coming from prison and chasing prosperity. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? When I was in prison, like, bro, like, especially after I read the Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and then I turned around and ran across my homeboy. He had your book sitting on the table, and I read that, you know, how to set goals, and I'm just like, yo, like, okay, boom. I'm just like, yeah, like, this is what I want to do, man. I want to have my own business. I want financial security. I want to, you know what I'm saying, invest in like passive income, real estate. You know, I want to get into it all because, you know, I want to get to the point where I can give back in abundance.
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying, that's really the ultimate goal is to keep giving back. Because, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's not just about me. But in order for me to be able to help anybody else, I got to first establish me. You know what I mean? I got to first get myself together before I can try to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you know, and then 5 will be the opportunity to be a part of the AWOL family. You know what I'm saying? Because it's truly added value and it has changed my life and added value to it in my day-to-day relationships and with others and with self. And I just want to I appreciate you, Lynch, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for becoming a part of the family, man. Do y'all know how big it is for you know the saying, one man's trash is the next man's treasure? Well, this guy's mom that he's referring to, I guess she came to AWOL or was coming to AWOL, and she bought the Accelerate Your Results book for her son. And we mailed it to him in prison, and he didn't read the book, but Trent read the book. And now Trent is connected to the community from a book that he read, and he read the book not knowing, you know, who I was, who AWOL was, until his sister Ashley, you know, kept mentioning it, and then he finally connected the dots, and lo and behold, like, it was the same person that she was speaking about was the same book that he read and the same things that he was speaking about, and then all of a sudden it just, you know, he got out of jail, and then now he's a part of the community. So, man, just let's be grateful for your ability to take action, your intuition. Let's be grateful for you know, you seeing that book on the table. Let's be grateful for your curiosity. Let's be grateful for your courage. You know, let's be grateful for your, you know, your insatiable appetite to grow. You know, let's be grateful for all those things that made you, you know, spontaneous in that moment to say, yo, what's that? Let me check that out. Because it's not like it's a cover that is enticing. It's a picture of me and Ken on the front. And, you know, it says Accelerate Your Results, but you got two black guys on the cover of the book. It's not like it's something to say, oh, that's dope. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So be grateful for your divine connection. You know, divine timing. Be grateful for, yeah, like, really, there's no accidents in life. You are where you're supposed to be at any given time because it's divine timing. It's part of your personal growth and evolution. So, you know, you say something made me do that. That's the connection you have with the Creator. That's the divine timing, the divine connection. So let's be grateful for those things. Personally, I'm gonna share with y'all a couple because it was a long pause between the last one when I was getting people to do their homework, and we'll go into that in a second. But on my day 3, I did my 5 on, my first 5 was about my wife. And my number one thing that I came up with was my wife's vision. I'm grateful for my wife's vision because my wife had the ability to see me as I could be and not as I was. See, when you look at a man as they can be, then they can grow into that and become that. But when you only see a man or a woman as they are, then they'll never grow into anything other than what people see them as. So let's be grateful for vision. In my circumstances, in my conditions, where I was, my wife saw me for the potential that I had in me. She saw me for where I could be, in the future. So, she was taking a gamble on her heart of hearts, on her mind, her will, and her emotion. She was taking a gamble on her vision, which is a function of her heart. She wasn't taking it, she wasn't saying, let's gamble with what I can see with my naked eye. Some of us, we're only moving because we're doing things off of what we can see with our naked eye. But when you have vision, you're moving off of the heart of hearts. All right, you're moving off your mind, your will, and your emotions, things that haven't even come into fruition yet. And that's what vision is about. So I was grateful for my wife's vision. If you think about it, like, you got somebody who's coming out of prison, and you have somebody who's in law enforcement. This is going to be hard to make this work. But when you have divine, when you have divine timing, you have divine connections, that stuff, divine chemistry, no career is going to stop what God has in store. So we've created all this stuff, but it was conceived in a time where you wouldn't think that this can't be possible. This relationship, it can't happen. So we took inspired action. So I'm very grateful for inspired action as well. I just like Alex, I said my wife's love. I said my wife's love because I have comfort in knowing that someone loves me unconditionally. That, somebody's going to go to bat for me at all times. Somebody's going to hold me down at all times. Somebody's going to give me, they're going to put me in front of them. That's a feeling that, if you guys don't have that yet, that's a feeling that, we all long for. Somebody to actually put them and put you in front of them. And that's some dope stuff. So, I tend to reciprocate that, every chance I get, man. I hope, and trust and believe that she feels the same way. My wife's trust was number 3 on day 3. And this is big because, in the industry that we're in physical fitness, we work around like 95% women. And we're around women all day long. So my wife's, I'm grateful for her trust because it allows me to be me and do my job effectively without, worrying about the boundaries of insecurity from your mate. So sometimes your mate may be insecure with what you do, and she'll project boundaries onto you. So I'm grateful for my wife's trust. It doesn't give me any boundaries with what I do, with 95% women being around me all the time. I know that makes sense to a couple people. I know I can get a couple clicks and amens on that one. I'm going to, number 4 was, remember these were all about my wife right here. So, my wife's submission, and this is going to be deep. I'm grateful for my wife's submission because it's allowing, first of all, it allowed me to reclaim the head of the household, which is vital because it allowed us to help break a generational curse of something that a lot of us don't like to recognize or don't know nothing about, which is the Willie Lynch curse. back in the day when we had the slave trade and all that different type of stuff, there were some letters that were wrote by this guy named Willie Lynch, and basically he taught everyone how to keep their stock in check, which was us. And one of those things was removing the mail. It was breaking. It was breaking us. It was like buck breaking. So you would break the mail, and everybody would see the head being broke, and then he would fall back, and the woman would have to step up. Now, for 400 plus years, it's been like that. The majority, it's been like that. And now there's things in the system where we're placed in projects with drugs and guns and violence. And since we don't have the mentality to do the right things at the right times, we pick up what's been given to us, and now we're broken by a whole nother system. And me going to prison, I was removed from the household, from the community, from the culture for a long period of time. My voice was removed. All the things that I do was removed. And I had to come back to reclaim, that voice, that position, and all those things. And I'm grateful for my wife for allowing me to reclaim that position as head of the household so that we can continue together to break generational curses. Now, I can be, an example as head of the household based off of the way my wife submits to me in being the head of the household. So big up to her for that. Also, my fifth one was my wife's health. And I believe if my wife wasn't in the shape she was in, it would be very, a 43-year-old pregnancy would be very rough. But to conceive with one fallopian tube is a testament to her health. She's also been working out for the entire 7 months that she's been pregnant now. So we're going into the end of 7th month, and she's been working out the whole entire time. Sunday, we just walked 2 miles together on Sunday. So, to be 7 months pregnant, one of the things that came up while we were walking, I said, I guarantee you that our moms didn't exercise the way you exercise while you're pregnant. And I guarantee you at 7 months, they wasn't walking 2 miles. So I'm very grateful and thankful for my wife's health. And I know that, her working out this entire time, it's going to help her snap right back. So I'm very grateful for having, for her having the ability to work out this whole entire time and to be in shape prior to this, and not try to, put her life back together, after the pregnancy. It's just a way of life for her. She's going through this stage, and then she will just, get back on her track then of being, physically fit without being pregnant. So it's a great adjustment. Let's anybody want to chime in on anything I said? Anybody got any questions? Anybody have any comments about anything I said? I'm willing to take questions on that stuff before I move on to the next topic, because I always give feedback, on you guys. So you're all welcome to give me feedback on any of the things that I said, and even pushback. You guys can always push back. It's going to be a healthy exchange. So you can always push back with some of the things you don't agree. And I'm really I'm really open to sharing my interesting perspective with you all, because a lot of us are conditioned to just think one way, and then when I give you a different perspective, it kind of makes you makes you a little uncomfortable in the beginning because you're not used to this interesting perspective. But remember, my experiences have brought me through a lot of different things, and I'm able to see things differently based off of where I've been. So it's like sightseeing. It's like going to a different country. You may have read about the country, but I actually went there and saw it. So when I give you my interpretation about what I saw, you're only speaking about what you read or what somebody else told you, and you kind of giving me pushback on what I actually went through and did. So I really like to help you change your perspective. So I'm open to pushback and feedback with anybody. Somebody want to get
Question, Coach. What was that second one?
my second one?
Yeah.
My second one was my wife's love. And I said because it gives me comfort in knowing that someone loves me unconditionally. One of my joints was my mom. I was grateful for my mother's love for her children because it gave me an example of what unconditional love was. So when I saw my wife's love, man, I was like, yo, unconditional love is coming back. So it was familiar. You know what I'm saying? So just think about it. Like my brother serving 15 joints for aggravated assault, got a drug charge, ran with that. My sister just passed away a couple years ago. She passed away, it was like 2 years after me being home. So damn, it's been like 5 years now. So my sister passed away of cancer. I want to say it was ovarian cancer, but it stemmed from her drug problem. So my sister been doing drugs since, she was like teenager. And me personally, I've been in the streets, my brother been in the streets, my sister been in the street, but my mom continued to love us the whole entire time. It's just so much, like, I'm getting my mom's door kicked in because the feds and the people and the cops, they don't know my address. So they kicking my mom's door in. You got to do better. And, like, she loved me through the whole entire stuff. So, man, it's just like, it's on some wow stuff, man. You know what I mean? And I'm getting mad at Trinity for the dishes, man. And it's like, I gotta do better. I gotta do better with Trinity. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. It must have been the first one then. It was one you mentioned. I was going to ask you, did you always see it that way?
Like vision?
Yes. Yeah. Did you always see it as vision?
I may not always have saw it as vision. That's why I broke it down for you guys. So vision is a function of the heart, and sight is a function of the eyes. And when you can only see people for what you see now, you're only using your eyes. So if you all think about it, I give you so much, like, look, I'm on you so much. Like, I give you such a hard time. It's because I see you for the man that you can be. Like, I have vision for your life. I'm casting vision over you from where you sit right now. So if it's Trevor, if it's Trent, if it's Terrell, if it's Counciel, if it's Alan, if it's Mike, if it's Mark Sykes, if it's Marino, if it's Mario, whoever, if it's Ty, if it's Akeem, if it's Stretch, if it's Cody, if it's Alex, if it's Vic, I talk so much stuff to you because I know where you're at right now in that little thing that if we're together and we're doing something and your mentality won't allow you to get past it, or your spirit won't allow you to get past it, if your mentality makes you speak the wrong thing out of your mouth that won't allow you to get past it, I correct it. If your spirit is not coming with the right kind of energy to move past it, I correct it. I interject, I intercede. And what you guys understand is that I'm a warrior in that aspect. And if I'm a warrior in that aspect, I'm battling and I'm going to battle and fighting for you. And sometimes you trying to go with the enemy against me to help you. I want you to understand this thinking that comes into play. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yo, do this, that, and the third. And it's Alan. Alan, can you hear me?
Yeah, Coach, I did.
Okay, remember that I gave you, and we'll get to this in a second, but this morning I walked up and I slid y'all the paper and I said, I gave y'all what the homework is, and I'm gonna give it to them real quick. But I gave y'all what the homework was. What was my topic of my speech today?
Right. Topic was 3 things that you're under-invested in and over-expected.
Right.
You're under-invested in and
now, when I came to you and I wrote them on the paper, what do you think my intentions were?
Your intentions was to get me, I felt like, was first to show your transparency and then to get me to follow suit.
Yes. So my intentions were to get you to write your 3 down.
Right.
And did you?
No, I didn't write them down, but this is what I did. I did think about it all day, and then I discussed it with my wife, and then I came to the conclusion that it's not very clear for me at this point, at this moment. That's not a clear. I don't have a clear answer for that. And maybe because this is just me, I've learned to manage my expectations, which is something I've been working on. So managing my expectations, it's kind of hard for me to expect something more if I haven't been given all I had to it. If that makes sense.
So, I want you to look at certain areas of your life, right?
Okay.
So, when I got the paper back, it was nothing on the paper from you or Anthony. And I didn't expect Anthony to do it because just in the space that he's in right now, in the space that he's in, I feel like that he want to receive when he want to receive, or he grab what he want to grab.
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's me managing my expectations.
Right.
But when I got the paper back, there was nothing on the paper, so I was like, okay, my transparency didn't work.
Oh, it worked. It worked. Honestly, the one you had with your daughter, I had that one, but I had it I probably had it months ago, and I had the same issue that you had with my daughter, and I was wanting more from that relationship. I was kind of expecting more from it. And I realized the tactics and the way I was going about it wasn't working, so I had to switch it up. I had to change it up.
Yeah. So mine's not an issue. Mine's was, how do I get more out of it? You know what I'm saying? Mine's is like we're dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we have a dope dynamic, but how do I get a bigger return on investment? So it was, you understand what I'm saying? So that's what it was. So anyway, I want you to look at your life, because you may not be looking at it right. I want you to look at your life and look at where you want a bigger return at. Since the wording of the question, it got you stuck in one particular meaning. Like, so you're taking one part of it and you're breaking that meaning down, and you're like, you know what? Well, I can't come up with an answer because the way I'm defining some of these words. And if you look at the whole entire thing, all you have to do is say, where do I want a bigger return at? And if I want a bigger return in my life over here, I don't know what that over here is, then I want you to start looking at what you're actually putting in over there, and then you'll be able to see why you're not getting that big return that you're looking at.
Perfect. That's perfect. All right.
All right. Let me see here. Did anybody get their rock?
Yes, sir. I had it. Definitely.
All right. So some of y'all got y'all rock. All right. I just need you. If you got your rock, I want you. Okay, there go my boy Fobs. If you got your rock, I want you to give me just one thing that right before you lay down to go to sleep, and you grabbed your rock, and you said that you were thankful for the best thing that happened to you that day. Just give me one thing, one of those things. Go ahead, Fobs, because you got your rock.
Well, yeah, one thing that, and it's kind of a daily thing, but now that I got this rock, I kind of see what you're talking about, because you squeeze hard, it kind of feel like the rock is bending a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But man, before I go to sleep, man, I thank God, man, for his grace and mercy, man. And even that I'm imperfect, he sought that I had another chance to impact the world and everything. So I'm just grateful for that. More so than anything, man. So that's just one of the daily things. But now it just means a little bit more. Every day it means just a little bit more when I say that.
All right. So Fobs, you missed the whole, man. You missed the whole. So So you're supposed to grab this rock, right? And when you grab the rock, you're supposed to think of the best thing that happened to you that day. So listen, when we counted our blessings, we made ourselves a magnet for more gratitude to come into our life, for more things to be grateful for. So, for instance, like one day, like I had like 3 or 4 things that were super dope that happened to me. Like I answered an 800 call where I never really answered the phone, but if your name's not saved in my phone, I'm screening calls, I don't answer calls. I answered an 800 call. It was a guy from AT&T. He wound up saving me on half of my bill. So I was paying like $200. I got like 2 routers at the 2 Wi-Fis at the gym, and you know I got a phone there and all this different type of stuff. And my bill is like $200. So he called and he slashed my bill in half, and I got a faster Wi-Fi now and everything. So that one call wound up saving me $1,200 a year. Like, that was dope, but it wasn't even the best thing that happened to me that day. Like, so look. So when I went to sleep, I had to squeeze my rock and think of the best thing that happened to me that day to be thankful for. And I had multiple things that day. So I also went into the Apple, and my iPhone's having major problems this week. And I went into Apple 4 out of 5 days since I left y'all, 4 out of 5 days, and spent 3, 4, 5, 6 hours in the store every day. Y'all know I'm a busy man. It's hard for me to devote 4, 5, or 6 hours in one place just to deal with a problem with my phone. And the whole time, because I had this grateful exercise going on with you guys in our AWOL community, I was able to keep this positive, grateful energy the whole time. I was able to take one sales associate and pour into him for the whole entire time that we were together. I mean, I guarantee you, me and Taylor changed the state of this young man by the time we left. I was so grateful for Apple Care, for being able to get a new phone. And I got 3 new phones in 3 different visits off of Apple Care. I was grateful for that stuff, but that wasn't even the best stuff that happened to me. Like, at the end of the day, I was able to sit down and help my daughter write a speech. She was coming up with a speech to become Miss Junior. She goes to Bennett Middle College, and she had to present a speech for that. And she came to me because, I write speeches and I speak. This is what I do. And I was so grateful. So I took my rock, and I was grateful for the time that I had to spend with my daughter to help her write her speech to become Miss Junior at Bennett Middle College. And today she came home and she showed me how she was elected, Miss Junior at Bennett Middle College, man. So that's what my squeeze was all about. And I know that, God made that happen. I know he gave the energy, and I know I love God and stuff like that. But there's some things that show up in our life, right? And sometimes we got to be thankful for those things. And I just want you to know what the exercise was actually about. Yeah. And God is going to facilitate that. He is going to facilitate that, but he's also going to, the closer you are to him, right? He's going to make these things more conscious to you. So you see how I break these things down, and you see how he's going to bring more things into your life because of the way you're obedient to his word. And obedient is about your action. So there's a lot of people that, they know, I don't know how to speak in tongues. I don't know how to do that. But I know what I know how to do. I know how to take that word, internalize it, and then go outside and be the word. And then now all the people that speak in tongues, they looking at me like, well, he's blessed. He's so blessed. He's highly favored. He's favored and blessed because he's a doer of the word. Of course, I'm anointed, but everybody is anointed, but they don't figure out they're anointed until they do the work. They don't figure out they're anointed until they're obedient to the calling. So I'm trying to get you kings to be obedient to the calling by doing the practices, but you can't uncover your anointing because you won't do no fucking digging. Y'all heard what I said? That's why some of y'all list is the car and the barber and all the which is on the surface, and you won't dig. I ain't said my car yet, but I'm faithful for my car. I'm going to get to my car, but what y'all don't understand is, guess what? I'm going to do for the rest of the month. So when we get to 200 and 300, then the car, you're going to have to say the card in. But you use the car up now. So you don't want to do no digging. So guess what? Eventually, you're going to have to dig. So you can duck the digging now, right? But eventually, you're going to have to dig. And the reason why I'm digging now is because I'm digging myself out of a grave. But when you wait long to dig, you're going to wind up digging yourself a grave. Man, y'all not getting this is about obedience. This is about being a doer of the word. Stop being superficial and dig. If you look at my stuff got, it has substance to it. And I'm being the example to show you, to show you exactly what my digging is about. So now you can say, you know what? I want to dig like he dig. Because I want to be blessed like he blessed. Huh? And I'm the example of the blessing so that you can go ahead and say, you know what? That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what the king's treasures is supposed to look like. That's what wearing a crown is supposed to look like. That's what ruling is looking like. That's what ruling acts like. You understand what I'm saying? I know it's too tough, and I apologize, Pastor, for cussing and then, you know what I mean, talk about the word and stuff like that, man. I apologize for that. And I'm just being obedient I'm being obedient to the practice because I understand what comes out of this stuff. And I appreciate y'all for doing this stuff. And this is how you get better. The first time you run the play, you don't run the play like the first string. You don't run the play like the best player. You don't run the play like, you understand what I'm saying? So now you get a chance to run the play again. That's why we practice every single day, right? That's why we practice every single day. And the game comes and we're efficient in our movement. We're able to shake our man because we went 100% in practice. Remember, he said, you're not running the route fast enough. I need you to go all out like you would go in the game. And then when that guy got on you and he was going all out, you knew how to separate yourself from him during that time because you practiced going all out. You couldn't wait till the game to go all out. So the practice was vital. It was inevitable to your success. You understand what I'm saying? So today we had this, and I want to give this all to you now. We have homework for next week. And please, it only took me 30 seconds to do the homework. But it's going to take me the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year, and the rest of my life to stay on top of the things that were revealed to me in 30 seconds. See, a lot of times the revelation is given to you, but there's no transformation without the application. See, the revelation is going to come, and we're going to have the revelation. We're going to see it. It's going to be evident in our life. Somebody going to tell us, or somebody going to prophesy in our life, whatever they're going to do. But look, go ahead, Marino, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just going to piggyback off what you said, Coach, when you was talking about digging deep.
Go ahead, big dog.
One of the things that I do in prayer, I follow this routine where I thank him for everything, then I go into repenting for everything, and then I go into whatever I need his help in. But one of the things that I figured out about—
Say that again, Marino. Say that again. I want you to jot that. I want them to jot that down. The routine that he does. Say those things real quick. Go ahead.
So the first thing that I do in prayer is I thank him for everything. And it leads me into repenting for anything I may have done. And then it leads me into that to asking what I need help in. But the thing about when I'm in the thanking part of him, the Holy Spirit convicted me one morning and said, why are you always thanking him for what he's done for you? Thank him for just being him. So I started switching my prayer to saying, thank you for being consistent. Thank you for being powerful. Thank you for being wisdom. My thank yous came out of that, and anything that came out of that was just the byproduct of me just thanking him for who he is. If I thank him for who he is, then everything else he'll give me. And so the digging deep part, when you were saying, Coach, is that I had to figure out I was on the surface of thanking. I was just thanking him for everything he done for me. Thank you for waking me up. Thank all the extra, the stuff we say every day. But I wasn't even thanking the person, the source, for waking me up. And so I had to switch that thinking and that mentality. And that's kind of where I am now. So with me with the rock now, my first day getting the rock today, and this is my first time being on the call, you know, I see like they might be smaller things, but they're bigger things to me. Like for me, I'm just thankful that I can get up and have a one-on-one conversation with God.
Yeah.
Like that I can
that relationship.
That I can shut down everything else going on around me, and it's just me and him. And it feels like I'm sitting on a counselor's couch, and I can tell him everything I got going on. And he'll show me how to look at it. He'll show me how to do this, go this route. The ability to hear his voice for me is a peace that surpasses all understanding.
Yes.
That can't be compared. So it's just, for me, it's right where you at, Coach, where you were saying that you got to dig deep, because if we stay on the surface, then we're shorting God. Yeah. We're just shorting.
Yeah. You ain't gonna never hear his voice on the surface. You ain't gonna never hear his voice on the surface. Show him the rock. Show him the rock, Marino.
Hey, yo, can I piggyback off of what he was saying?
Yeah, go ahead. In it for a minute.
Yeah, man. Because that was one of my things that I was most grateful for. Was my daughter. She's 7 years old, and she was worried about something, and she said God spoke to her and told her it was gonna be all right. But just the fact that my 7-year-old daughter, I heard her say that. You know what I'm saying? That was the one. That was I think Wednesday. That was my the best thing that happened that day. And my man who was just saying, Marino, he just kind of piggybacked on it, just to hearing that voice. But not only do I hear the voice, but my kids see something in me that they recognize the voice too.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. All right, so where I was going, where I was headed was what we gave the whole community today, which was it was write down or figure out where in your life that you're underfunding or underinvesting, but you're over expecting. I want you to look into your life and think about where you're underfunding or underinvesting, but you're over expecting. Where you're not putting in the work, but you're expecting to get, some stuff out, or you're not putting in enough work. I could probably save it for next week, but you guys, we had the Fit Games, and the Fit Games were, I approached it a little different this time. I had a lot of stuff going on, and I used that lot of stuff going on as an excuse not to market the way that I should have marketed. And I underfunded the event, and I didn't, I was looking for, I was like, I'm gonna get 200 people out here. And I was like, since I spent all the money, the first Fit Games, this is Fit Games number 3. I spent all the money in the first Fit Games. I said, you know what? I didn't have to spend a lot of money this time. So my cost per participant was slim to none. I was less than $200 in investing in the thing, in the whole entire event. So I was like, if I get 200 people in between $20 to $30, because the first tickets went for $20, and then, after a certain amount, they went for $30. I'm like, we can, walk away with about, $5,000 with no investment, which is pretty cool. But that thinking was contradictory to what we actually had to, it actually was the same exact thing that we were talking about today, and it was contradictory to my actual why and my purpose. So today it was some other stuff revealed to me too, and I think I'll get into that next week when we come back with these, because this is your homework. So you guys are going to come back next week with the areas of your life where you're underfunding or underinvesting, right? And over expecting. All right, because you're expecting a bunch of stuff, but we may not. And you got to keep it real with yourself. This is the digging right here. The homework is the digging, and some of us don't want to dig. Some of us is like, what? It's a lot of people on the call, man. I want to be a part of the call. You know what I mean? A lot of people just want to be on a team, just want a jersey. You know what I mean? Just want to rock one on the squad. But me personally, I like to contribute, man. I want to be, I want to be a standout. You know what I'm saying? So I practice hard. all that different type of stuff. So make sure you guys do your practices. Make sure you do your exercises. Make sure you're contributing. Make sure you're doing everything. And I'll take a few comments and stuff before we get off, man. Let's anybody want to say something, man? You can jump in there real quick. Give me a question. Give me a comment. Give me a concern. Give me Go ahead, Terrell.
Okay. Months ago, you were talking about how people are happy to be on the team. And you mentioned how you like to contribute. Also, if you want to stay on that team and have a pivotal role on that team, you have to contribute. You have to work hard. Back in my days, when I used to coach GTCC, one of the biggest coaching philosophies we always tell our players who are not who don't get a lot of playing time at practice, that's what playing time is earned. You want to earn your stripes? Your responsibility is to kick the shit out of the guys who are the who play a lot. And the thing is, you have to push, you have to work, to earn your position. So going back to what you're saying about being on the team, you have to contribute in order to stay on the team. You have to work hard to stay on the team, because if you don't, there's someone else out there who's going to work twice as hard to take your spot.
That's right. Thank you, Terrell. Appreciate that, man. It looked like Marino raised his hand. Let me get that. Go ahead, Marino.
No, because I was going to say, for the homework, like I pretty much already know.
Go ahead. Give me something, because it can help lead them in a better direction to do their homework. So go ahead, give it to me. I like when you give examples.
So mine is not even really a tangible thing. Mine is more so of a untangible thing, and that's my thought life. So, okay. So I'm not being very strong in capturing or canceling wrong thoughts, but then I'm expecting not to have crazy thoughts. So I want to be able to just think positive all the time. So that's what I'm wanting that, but I ain't putting in the work to get that. And that starts with, I have to understand that my thought life came from years of thinking like this. So if it took years to get it here, then it's going to take a bit to get it where it needs to be, but I got to be consistent in learning how to cancel or cast down thoughts, or learning how to speak different. Whatever my thoughts are telling me is not what's really the reality. So I'm expecting some change, but it's not coming because I ain't putting in the work.
Okay.
So I'm underfunding.
Let me help you. You said this was your first call. So when you get done, I want you to go back to my YouTube. You don't have to do it tonight, but on my YouTube, we have a call that we did a couple weeks ago on beliefs and belief systems. And thinking is your belief system exposed. Okay. So when your thoughts are going a certain way, it's stemming from your belief system. So now we got to go back and learn how to reprogram our belief system. So you missed that call and those practices, but we do have the replay on YouTube. So everybody out there, thinking is your belief system exposed. That's how we expose our belief system. A lot of times we can't really tell what our belief systems are, but it shows up through our thoughts. I really got to share something that's really thank you for that. We'll be expecting some homework in that area too, Marino, next week, if you're available. Something very profound. My wife was doing some digging on day 2, and I want you guys to hear this. On day 2, her number one gratitude thing she was grateful for, she said, I am grateful to witness positive men who are willing to enhance their quality of life in every aspect of their lives by being a part of the Coach Lynch coaching calls. Is that dope or what?
Yeah.
Yo, she was grateful to be able to see this, you guys trying to enhance your quality of life, man. Like she said, I'm grateful to witness positive men who are willing to enhance their quality of life in every aspect of their lives by being a part of the Coach Lynch Empowerment Coaching Calls. Yo, that's powerful, man. Like, yo, it's like, that's super powerful, man. And that's
I'm grateful for that, Coach.
Man, yo, thank you, man. Thank you for being grateful, because I'm grateful for that, because now, like, what she does is she takes her platform and, you know, she's going to tell the other women in her platform about what she's witnessed about the growth of these men in our culture, in our community. And that gives the women in our community more confidence in us, as opposed to being in a different community where they like, guys ain't shit. You know what I mean? These dudes ain't nothing. You understand what I'm saying? Where that is the mentality, where women have been done wrong for so long by certain guys, or younger guys, or immature guys, that people, like, they get a chance to see this. You know how many people are not seeing this? They don't believe we do this. You know what I'm saying? Like they just think that this is dope, man. I really appreciate this. This is fire. Somebody give me one more thing before we go, man.
Oh, man. That was powerful.
I just want to. I wanted to piggyback off. What was it? Will Stokes, the pastor.
Oh, Marino.
Marino. Okay. Well, when he came in, he was like, you know, he realized that he always thanked God for the things that he do for him, instead of, you know, just him being him. And that made me self-reflect, like, damn, you know what? I need to do that too, you know what I'm saying? I need to just thank him for being him, you know what I mean? Like, that's, you know, just that reflection, like, you know, that's an area where I guess I do over-respect things, you know, for him to do, and I do manifest it in a way, because I understand the law of attraction, I understand the universe, you know what I'm saying? I understand that we are one. I know he is one in me. He is part of me. We are all part of him, you know what I'm saying, in that essence. So I do understand, but then I, you know, had to look at it like, you know, I gotta just thank him for being him, and the blessings might overpour, like, even more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yo, that's dope, because I didn't get a chance to put my my video up on Instagram. So I'll put it up tomorrow. But I used a snippet from Taylor put the snippet together from last week, when I was like, yo, y'all gotta thank Coach Lynch for doing these exercises, and I said for Coach Lynch's practice, and for paying the tuition and the dues and all that different type of stuff. And it's sort of like the same thing. Like, if you think about it, like if he wasn't who he was, then we couldn't do the things that we do, and we couldn't receive the things that we receive. And it goes back to what we talked about with Fobbs earlier. If you're the example, right? And I'll find it on my list real quick. It was number 10 on day, let me find it real quick. Number 10 on day 3. I was grateful for being the example. So I go through all the practices, I do all the things so that you guys can receive it. So with me trying to mold my life, right, as the example, as righteous, right, as Christ-like, you guys get a chance to see fruits. You know, you get a chance to see and hear testimonial. And when I was bearing my cross, prison was one of the biggest crosses I had to bear. Y'all hear what I said? We all got our crosses to bear. And this is what it's about, y'all. Y'all got to take this and don't take it the wrong way. We all got our own crosses to bear. And prison was one of my biggest crosses to bear. But I want you to understand that the exercises that I'm giving you guys now was stuff that I did when I was bearing my cross. I had this rock when I was bearing my cross. I did this gratitude exercise when I was bearing my cross, right? And I want y'all to go back to the word. right? And I want you to understand how what he did and what he said and how he acted when he was bearing his cross, when they was stoning him. You hear what I said? Yo, when I tell you I'm obedient, right? When I tell you that I do, y'all looking at me like I'm crazy, man. And some people, because I don't dress up, because I don't come with the conventional style, they ain't catching it. But guess who I'm doing it for? I'm doing it for everybody on this call. I'm doing it for everybody that say, yo, that's my man. That's my mentor. That's my guy. When he give it to me, man, I get it. I'm doing it for y'all. So everybody else that I know you can't get with me because I cuss. I know you can't get with me because I'm harsh. And you ain't have nobody cussing at you in your life. You ain't have nobody that was harsh in your life. You ain't have nobody that was like that in your life. So you can't get with me. And I get it. And that's what I was talking about earlier with the kid with Alan. I was like, he can't get it. We different. So I'm doing it for everybody who believe that we cut from the same cloth. You understand what I'm saying? And y'all know what that cloth? Y'all know what that cloth is? Y'all know what that cloth is? It's royalty, baby. That's why it's the King's Court. It's royalty. Huh? All these things can be yours. Huh? You heard what I said? They all can be added unto you. And I'm trying to get you, I'm trying to get you to be a humble servant, right? So when when you finally get your chance to sit on the throne, right? You will know how they supposed to serve under your rulership. Because it's the King's Court, man. This is the King's Court. Yo, I'm signing off. If y'all ain't got the fucking homework by now, then you ain't going to do it anyway. Yo, Kings, until the next time, man. Yo, I'll see y'all on the next one, man. This is the Dope King's Court.